Going straight to the teams who are participating in the Transparency in Public Procurement Challenge. Our first team is Emma. Let's have a look at the video to see what they've been working on.
Hi, my name is Mark and I manage the team EMA, which is running the EU 2022 Datathon to help improve transparency in public procurements. Our team is made up of me, Marco, Marcus, Mark with a K, and even a cameraman. And that up there is our cat, Emma, who is watching everything and meows every time something is wrong. Meow! And it is exactly what the application EMA is about, watching all European Union public procurements and detecting automatically fraud and other issues. For that, EMA uses open data from Data Europa and enrich it with other sources. EMA allows everybody to search and easily visualize all interaction of public procurement actors, with a highlighting of suspicions of fraud. So yeah, EMA monitors malicious activities.
Sorry, let's talk about transparency and transparency in public procurement. Okay, sorry, little mismanage of things. Let's talk about transparency and transparency in public procurement. If we really want to call our democracies democracy, we need to maintain, to reinforce, to build one of the core pillars of a democracy, which is transparency. In the age of informations that we live on, we have access to the data we more easily, and the spreading of informations is large and mainstream, thanks to all of the actors who make this possible, administrations, NGO, open data communities, and collaborative communities. For example of this transparency, today in France there is not a week without a headline about new cases of fraud by public representative and high-level public servants, sorry. This majority of frauds are linked to public procurement process. The EU public procurement market is about 2,000 billion euro. It is 16% of European GDP. This amount of financial power that we give to the decisioners show the reason why transparency in public procurement is necessary. It shows also the reason why Challenge 2 of this Datathon exists, and it shows the reason why EMA is a necessity, EMA and other tools like the one my German colleagues will present you after. So that's it, but what does EMA, what EMA does? EMA is a multifactorial search engine through several databases about public procurement actors. EMA is also a map showing interaction between public procurement stakeholders. And EMA is a dynamic classifications allowing the highlight of malicious activities that do not comply with European regulations. That's for what EMA does, but what can we do with EMA? What can we do with EMA? A public decision maker can use it to identify future conflict of interest that can occur. NGO can use it to visualize connection between stakeholders and easily detect blue situations. And the company can use it to check if they have not been wronged on a call for tenders. So that's it. Now the technical part. Don't worry, it will be quick. So how EMA is doing that? EMA retrieves information from several sources, like administrations, open data, and linked open data. It takes this data, processes it, and format it, and put it on a database. EMA after apply European public procurement rules and to detect any wrongs. And after that, Emma sort it and classify it as we classify it, and voila. And voila. After that, Emma redistributes data in two forms. The first form is the web applications to use the data, and the second form is a technical endpoint to reuse the data. When I was making this deck slide, I was looking for a good example on which we can all relate and that we all know. So I picked someone who is here today with us. I took Elenata Avila, who is a speaker today representing the open knowledge community. Renata, you may be wondering why you are on a database about public procurements. It's just because Wikipedia flags you as stakeholders on an organization who answer to a public procurement. So if we click on the open knowledge community, we see that there is 4 dots. One of the dots is Renata, the center one is the open knowledge community, and the open knowledge community answer to 2 tenders with public society. If we click on a dot, we can have more information and widespread data about the tenders or about the organizations. But if we expand that and click on the what is its name, Capita Business Services, it is one of a public organization that answer. We can expand, and there is lots and lots of more dots. It is all the tenders that the buyers, Capita Business Services, put. And we can see that there is orange links. All these orange links are a little misdoing on the process of the tenders. So we detect that it is not comply with European rules, but it is normal because you can't have on 1,000 tenders, you can't respect all the rules. That's for the orange one. If there was a red one, it was more complicated, I guess. It's a good. But we can also expand another again, and that's exactly the same data, but with all the public servants who say they are interested in this organizations. They say it on their declaration of interest, and this is open data, so we can retrieve it and we can link it also. So that's the power of Emma. Emma allows us to walk through all this data and help us to take the first steps to navigate through it. That's it. Thanks.
Thank you very much. So, several questions. First of all, on which criteria does Emma flag suspicion of fraud?
Fact is that I take all the Union European rules about public procurements. That's a lot, and I implement it on the database. The database is a triple store, and we just have to translate all rules in a computer language. It's all.
And how do you plan to integrate data on available funding possibilities, be that regional, national, or EU?
Available funding. Oh, okay. We for the moment, I just take all the data that are available on the europadata.eu, and after that's the big part. It's to take a local one and national one.
And could you tell us more about the way Emma parses or gathers data?
We use the API tenders to retrieve all the data from the Europe, and we use linked open data. It is vocabulary and other data like Wikipedia data. There is an organization whose name is DBpedia, and he's linked open data and give us the Wikipedia data in the way that we can use it.
And finally then, kind of the broadest question, what was the most difficult part of working with procurement data?
Understanding all the vocabulary, but the EU give us the vocabulary, so it's good. But it's yes, there is a lot of things to do, and we can be holistic. So that's it.
Well, thank you very much. Good luck.